Ali, I have 5 clients, and 2 of them always send similar file weekly, and I have to formatting all the files every time. I want to reduce this step. How can I do this? That is very easy. If you get similar files every week, so why would you start VBA and Macro? In VBA and Macro, you can automate your functionality very easily. VBA and Macro, it sounds like I have to learn some kind of coding. I'm very bad at coding. No, to learning macros, there is no coding required. I will show you. Come on.
Okay, now first, go through the difference between the VBA and the macro, because most of the time people usually confuse during even the interview regarding what is VBA and the macros. Now, what is the VBA? Now, the VBA stands for the Visual Basic for Application. It is kind of, the programming language built into Microsoft Office, if you like, in the Word, in Excel, in the PowerPoint. If you are using, any of the program language, if you're using the Python or any of the program language, it is similar to that program language. So VBA is simply the program language. Now, if you talk about the macros, now macro, you can say in general term, is a part of VBA. How? Because macro is like a mini programs you record. You show the Excel the steps you want to do, and Excel remember it. For example, you can say, I just give you the example. If we have 2 rows, and you have to format it like this. So if you run the macro is record all of these steps. For example, the font size could be 7, and the header size could be 10, and so on. So this is just the basic example, but it is something like you can remember what is the macro. And why we use the macro? Because great for repeating the boring task over and over. So this is the basic difference between macros. Okay. Now, why we use VBA and macro? Now, there are 3 main aspects or 3 main benefits we get from these. First into those that they save you tons of time. For example, if you have a worksheet, and you can formatted that worksheet, you can press by 50 buttons. Or what else you can do, you record once and use macro for your next worksheet, so save tons of your time. And second is, they make hard thing easy. Need to make a fancy chart every week, VBA can do it for you. For example, in your analysis, you can use very specific chart. So VBA can record that chart and make it for you every week or every specific amount of period as you require. And then lastly, they feel like a magic. It's just you're gonna press a button and your work is done. So let me show you the example how you can use VBA and macro to save your time, to make things easier, and how you can feel yourself as a magician. So let's jump onto this. Okay, for example, your client will send you this type of data in every week or in every month, and you have to clean the data and formatting that data in order to present the client or in a senior management. So what you can do, whether you can do repeated steps on every week, on every month, just formatted this and separate this into column, and then select a font size or select the header. But what else you can do, you can simply use the macro to automate this step. Now, for macro, you have to enable your developer mode on the Excel. Now, how you can enable the developer mode? In just you're the ribbon, just hit the right key of the arrow and customize this ribbon. And then here you can find your developer mode. Just hit the OK and developer mode is active. Now, go to macro and record this macro. I can say, just say example video, just for this lecture. Now you can also choose the shortcut key for this macro, but remember shortcut key don't be matched with any of your keyboard key or any of your Excel or PowerPoint key. So I just simple say Control U. Now, when you store the macro, it gives you the three options in personal book, new workbook, or this work. I go to the personal macro workbook because it will save the macro in all of the Excel sheet, in all of the Excel, so I can use it in the future whenever the client send me the new file. So just click on this and hit the OK. And you can also write the description, like I can say, for my ABC client formatting daily sheet. Okay. Do as much descriptive as you want and just hit the OK. Now the macro is started. Now this is just the regular part. Just like this data and go to home, go to data, text to column. Next, press the comma and it's automatically, separate all the column as per the comma and see, and then finish. Now just little bit of formatting. Okay. Just choose right there. And now I'm just, formatting the data as per, to even look good more. This is not something, okay, for now. View tab, get rid of the grid lines. I need borders, okay. And for maybe I can say the total cost. Now what else can I do is just simply equal, multiply by this and by this. And simply, press the right key of the mouse, see this, and it's automatically drag it. And just I simply, also put the borders on it and see, now this is my formatting is ready. And I simply go to the developer tab and stop the macro. Okay. And I save this macro because the saving is macro is very important. So just hit the down arrow and select this Excel macro enable workbook. And I name this file as, for example, I can say example file, and I save this. Okay, now for example, client send you the same file with the new data on month 2. Now we already record the macro and already, do all the steps which how to, modify or formatting this data. So we don't want to repeat any of these steps. So what we can do, we can simply press our shortcut. It's just Control U. So when I press U, so see the in a second the data is automatically transformed as per we record our macro. Now, for example, in the month 3, how you can also perform the step, you just go to the simply the developer mode, go to macro, and this is our macro. Format data or example video. And when you run this, so all of these steps which we previously recorded in our macro is run by this path. And this way we can, do automation. So macro, we can use macro for any of the tasks which we perform in Excel or in PowerPoint and in Microsoft Word. And why we forcing on the macro and VBA? Because, in the data analysis, you got the so much data and you don't know how much time you have. Sometimes, you have to, amend hundred of columns and, deal with thousands of columns. So you don't want to repeat all of these steps all the time. So by using macro, you can automate your steps and get rid of all of the repeated steps and learn the new steps.
So I hope you like this video, and after this video you will reduce your day-to-day functionalities and day-to-day steps. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon button. So stay tuned with us. Wealth with Ali.